I need a 30 for 30 to show that I'm different like Jordan and Pippen, you bitch. I need a 30 for 30 like Jalen and Webber. Nobody gon' fuck on my clique. I need a 30 for 30. All right, after 4 weeks, we see Dallas Cowboys, so-called America's team. Our brother Racey's Leo's team, most definitely. 1-3. 1-3. As Ray pointed out to me, their defense is historically bad. He pointed out that one publication, I think the Dallas Morning News, said that currently their defense is performing as like the 7th worst defense ever, giving up like 36.5 points per game. But on the flip side, I think Dak is leading the league in passing yards, right?
Yeah.
You know, so you got history on both sides, I suppose. So at this point of the season, a month in, would you say the Cowboys are actually a bad team, as their record would indicate, or are they simply underachieving? Bobby Lee, we'll start with you since you are a Hail Stater like Dak Prescott. We'll see, you gonna be a homer, or are you gonna keep it 100 and give some real analysis about your fellow Mississippi State Bulldog?
I feel that the Cowboys are simply underachieving on the defensive end only. Because I feel like if Dak can go out there every game and give you 400 plus yards in 3-4 plus games, why aren't your defense showing up like your offense are? You know, I feel like, but I want to say this though, Coach.
Okay.
That game with the Browns, I really want to focus on Odell Beckham.
Okay, what you got to say about OBJ?
Odell Beckham has fell back in my top 3 receiver in the game today.
Oh, he fell back?
Fell back into my top 3.
Oh, he's back in it. Okay.
I'm back in my top 3.
I'm with you.
He told me Sunday that when they wanted him to come down in Cleveland, and once he went there and all that, I know they had a horrible season last year. I feel like the Browns can make some noise if Odell continues to play like that. But I feel like Baker Mayfield gonna have to pick it up on his end, because I feel like they can go really, really far. They're 3-1 right now. I feel like they can go really farther than that. Even though the injury on Nick Chubb, I feel like that's gonna hurt them. But I feel like Kareem Hunt can fill the gap.
So am I hearing from you that you really don't blame the Cowboys from losing them? You sound like you think the Browns are a good team.
Yes, I believe the Browns, from hearing all the talk last year of what they're supposed to be like, and this year the improvements they made, I feel like the Browns are a good team this year.
Okay. All right, that's interesting. JoJo, what's your assessment of the Cowboys right now, man? Are they a bad team? Or are they just underachieving and you think they're going to pick it up later on?
I guess my answer might be counterproductive because I think they're underachieving, but I don't think they're going to pick it up. The reason I didn't choose a bad team, we always talk about it's 3 phases of football, right?
Right.
We see it. They offense looks like they can score at will, to be honest. The defense looks like they can get scored on at will. The offense and defense is getting so much talk. Nobody has talked about whether or not their special teams is good or not.
Right.
You know what I mean? And maybe the special teams don't get it because, I mean, Dak is probably scoring a touchdown, you know, or they may, you know, he scored by 3 straight possessions, then they do a punt, and then the other team score in the next 4 possessions or whatever. But they're underachieving. I feel like it's not all the players' fault.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because in the draft, their offense was great last year.
It was.
You did not need to get CeeDee Lamb. You could have traded that pick and got multiple picks where you can shore up your defense. That's what was needed.
Okay. All right. Sounds like you are taking the same opinion as Shannon Sharp took, because I heard Shannon Sharp brought that same thing to Skip Bayless, who's
Right.
arguably number one Cowboy fan in the country, along with our brother Ray C's Leo. But Skip was like he didn't blame the Cowboys since CD was number like 6 on their draft board, and they were able to get him at
And
17.
see that's what's weird to me because he's vouching for that pick, but he see what that pick is getting now. They're
Right.
scoring a lot of points, but you still catching the L that you've been catching for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So like the definition of insanity, right, is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. We know Jerry liked to flash. He loved the offense scoring touchdowns and things like that. But like literally, what was it, 2 years ago when they was trying to debate whether to trade for Earl Thomas? You knew you needed defensive help then, and you still haven't targeted that. So it's like basically you're gonna be losing 77-70 every week. And like I said, that's not on the players because the players don't get to draft who they want.
Uh-huh.
Uh, that's more so on. I don't even know if Jerry is really getting the input, although the CD Lamb pick seemed like that's Jerry. But I thought his son had kind of took over, because he the one like had built the strong offensive line and things like that.
Yeah,
But
his son came out and he was quite optimistic with some comments he made the other day.
well, they need the ticket sales. He better be. Because
So
if they go ahead.
so I don't know. Was that you that compared them to the Chicago Cubs? With long as the money's going right. I know I brought up the Cubs specifically, but it seemed like one of y'all was like, Cowboys seem like lovable losers. Like as long as they're selling out, as long as they got the attention, as long as they got the ratings, we know that the team is the most valuable team in the world. And
Right.
that's saying something given the fact that football ain't even a top 3 sport in the world, I don't think. American football, that is.
Yeah,
Uh,
that might have been Tim G. Jacob though.
okay.
That
Well,
did there.
yeah, it probably will. But they sound like that's what you kind of getting at though, because
Yeah,
if they
pretty
just
much.
going for the flash and not going for what they need.
No, like literally, they make more money by losing. Okay, let's say they go. Let's just say 8-8, right? This
Mm-hmm.
year, they missed the playoffs. Most Cowboy fans outside of our boy Ray Caesar, because he a real one. He gonna say when they good, he gonna say when they bad. But most Cowboy fans is gonna say we gonna win it next year.
Yeah,
The
that's
day after they don't make the playoffs, they're gonna say we won't win it next year.
right.
Like so, Jerry's like, let's be honest, Jerry ain't in it for the wins anymore. If he was, he wouldn't pick the coaches that he picking.
All right, I'm glad you mentioned that. All right, so getting to the coaches after 4 weeks, what's y'all assessment of my former coach, Mike McCarthy? Now, folks like to say that once you a coach in the NFL and you get you a Super Bowl, that you a made man. So they were calling Mike McCarthy a made man. On this show, we talked about how in football the coach is more instrumental than in any other sport. And he does have a Super Bowl. He got a lot of division titles with my boy Aaron. But me being a Packer fan, I know the
Right.
fucked up shit he was doing over there. Uh, I heard Skip and Shannon talking about the litany of so coaches they had
Hmm.
since the Jimmy Johnson era.
Right.
Uh, but I got to think of one of the coaches that they left out when they were talking about the Dave Campos and Jason Garrett's,
Bill Parcells.
Bill Parcells. They left him out.
Yeah.
And so just now I was looking at Bill Parcells' record with the Cowboys, and I was stunned. I thought Bill Parcells did better than this. Bill Parcells, y'all, was 6-10. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. He was 10-6 the first year with the Cowboys, 6-10, 9-7, and 9-7.
Now, what? I can't really remember the roster that he had though.
Yeah, that sounds like something we should dig into because we know Bill Parcells to be a good coach. I mean,
Absolutely.
this is one of the legendary coaches.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
he,
But is that Jerry Jones? Who was that? Was that you that said Jerry Jones is the cancer?
yeah,
Just can't avoid it.
he just can't because he wants to coach the team from the owner's seat. You can't do that. You have to let the coach do his job. Like let him do his job. And to be honest, me personally, like if I had a choice, I wouldn't take the Cowboys. If you gave me the Cleveland Browns, and we know they always talk about how bad of an organization the Browns are. Between the Browns and the Cowboys, I would take the Browns. And this is
Whoa.
why I say this.
Okay.
Because I know with the Browns, if I get fired, it's because it was done my way and it just didn't work out. Jerry wants it done his way, but he'll fire the coach as if you gave the coach a chance. If you allow the players to go past the coach and talk straight to you, you can't get involved like that, man. Be the owner. You pay the players that the coach would like to have, then you let the coach them.
So why you think that? Why did he give Tank Lawrence the money? Uh, he
Cause
gave guys like Tank Lawrence the money on defense, and they underperforming, but he won't give Dak his money,
yeah, but see, okay, we know the QB position is like one of the most important positions, right? But if you
right?
notice, like Dak ain't buddy with Jerry like most of his QBs were. Dak kind of do his own little thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that Jerry feeling some type of way about these negotiations. Because I think he want Dak to come up into the office, leave his agent where he is, those two talk, and then he can try to talk him down because he's a businessman. But I don't know what that is because to be honest, from what I can see, I mean, Dak has performed better than Romo. So why not give him his money? And to be honest, what he asking for now, if this whole COVID thing leaves, you may end up paying more than you would later if you don't do it now. Or you're gonna be with Andy Dalton.
It's crazy, man. You end up with Andy Dalton after all his shortcomings up there in Cincinnati. You sure enough got it. It's a shit show now. Let's just be
Literally.
honest. It's a shit show now because especially because you got this new coach. You got this new coach. You had all this new energy. Everybody was blaming everything on Jason Garrett, 8-8 Jason Garrett, and all that kind of stuff. And boy, you supposed to have this guy. But me being a Packer fan, I know that man. Defense was not Mike McCarthy thing.
Right.
Okay. In
Right.
Aaron Rodgers' career under Michael McCarthy, we had one top 10 scoring defense. And that's when we won the championship.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we had a top 10 scoring defense last year with LaFleur. And we made it to the NFC championship game. Y'all just ran the ball
Yeah.
down our fucking throat. We couldn't do
We was
nothing.
like a Cinderella team, though.
But under Mike McCarthy, it wasn't like having a stud defense was a priority.
And let
He's the offensive guy. And the offense is putting up points in Dallas, but they don't get that defense right. And to Ray's point, he hired one of his buddies, Mike Nolan, who
I
didn't perform well in his previous job as a
did
DC.
not did not.
But because that's the partner, because that's the homie, you put him on.
Here's what I leave the world with. The coach has changed, right?
Uh-huh.
The players, they don't have the same players. They have some added, some may have left with free agency. The players have changed.
Uh-huh.
There's only been one mainstay, and their wins and losses have stayed the same. They're gonna have to make Jerry sit down. Like put him on a yacht, get about 17 young 21-year-olds,
Right.
occupy his
All right.
time,
You
man.
trying to get him that boy, what's the boy from New England, the New England owner who went
If,
down there and got
if
the massage?
look, if Kraft could get away with it, I know Jerry can.
Jared can get away with it. You right about that.
They just need to sit him down, man. Like, just enjoy it. Just enjoy the fact that you own a team. Sit down. Stop trying to listen. I ain't gonna go there.
No, go there, Joe. That's what we do. Go there.
Listen, look, I'm not even a Cowboy fan, right? And when I say this is strictly out of love,
Okay.
okay, the Cowboys will not have winning seasons again as long as Jerry is doing what he's doing.
Winning seasons? Hold on, Joe. This a big
Well, let me not say that.
Okay,
hold on. Because somebody will come and say, "What if we 9-7?"
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Okay,
they will
not be making the playoffs. As if Jerry continued doing what he's doing, he has to allow the coach to coach. Now, this is what I say: Jerry, continue doing what you're doing right now because you don't really have a coach anyway. I mean, Aaron already said it. He said it with the coach he got now, but I know Aaron was doing this before, acting like his headset wasn't working, and Aaron was running his own plays. That's why that team was succeeding. Jerry, next year, sit down. You know what? I don't care. I don't even know if they paying Are they still paying Jason Garrett?
Man, if they are, and that boy up there is now the OC for their rival New York Giants, that boy better not be getting them 2 checks out the NFC East.
Look, I don't even know, but I'm just
saying, not.
McCarthy ain't the guy, man. He's not. He may be a great offensive coordinator. You know, some guys are not head coaches, man. Let's get Dan Quinn, not a head coach. Probably a great defensive coordinator. They can't focus on both sides. You give them one side, they're great. Like a lot of these guys are deserved. You need leaders. You need leadership from that head coach position.
Got to be. You got to be able to galvanize people, stimulate people to action in that head coach position.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
Go.
Subscribe to our daddy's YouTube channel. He's the best. Hit the like button, turn on the notifications.